welcome to the annual Royal Oak Memorial Day Parade. Along with my co-host, Jodie Ellison. My name is Andy Aubrey, and Jodie, how are you this morning?
I'm great, Andy. How are you?
We're doing well, thank you very much, and it's good to be out here with you again, and the mayor and all the luminaries here in town.
It is shining brightly up here on the dais, is it not?
It is. Just a lot of star power for Royal Oak.
That's what I think, too.
We are going to luck out with the weather, looks like. Stay dry for now.
Maybe a little warm?
A little few degrees of temperature might help us a little bit. We got some wind noise in our microphone, but lends to the authenticity of the event.
I think so. I think so as well. I think so.
All right. Well, coming upon us, we will have police cars and fire trucks and all of this stuff before too long.
Oh, fabulous! Right up here next to us. You see these people, Andy? I know a couple of these guys.
You do? Why don't you
I do.
point them out to our viewers?
We have Mayor Jim Ellison next to us in the sport coat here. Next to him, we have two of our city commissioners, Chuck Femchina and Steve Miller, and then some, I don't know, sorted rabble behind them. Those are
some hangers-on.
Some hangers-on.
The entourage.
Yeah. Exactly. So I actually have to come clean. The people behind the mayor are actually our family.
Oh, okay.
3 of our kids and 2 of our grandkids.
I think you better bring that up.
I brought it up. Everybody has a good sense of humor, so that's great.
Leading off the parade is the police lead car, followed by the police honor guard and the fire truck units.
Looks like all the lights are in perfect unison this year.
How did they do it?
They've been rehearsing this since last Memorial Day, I think.
Strobe lights are tough to get on sequence when you're talking multiple vehicles.
But we're talking professionals here. They do this for a living. Don't try it at home, folks.
That's right, you could get hurt.
You could get hurt.
They got everybody polished up and ready this year. The car washes for the police cars were working overtime, I see.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't get mine done. They were all so busy doing the...
Too many police cars
exactly,
in there. Yeah,
exactly. Everybody was booked for days and days.
Chief Quisenberry. Where's he at?
No, Chief White.
Oh, Fire Chief.
That's right. We see him. Oh, there he is, waving,
yes,
wave back.
They gave him a license. Look, he's driving it.
They did.
Nice.
They did. It took a long time, but they finally relented. It's one of the great things about a city like Royal Oak. The real big guys show up for the parade.
Yeah. The heavy hitters.
That's right, not just their lackeys.
Well, the lackeys are here too.
The lackeys are here too.
They're following behind the big shots. Make no mistake, the sirens are in fine voice this morning.
Absolutely. Well tuned. Do you ever think they just like sit around the firehouse polishing the sirens and blowing them in each other's ears?
I would.
Yeah, I know.
I think that'd be great.
Kind of wondered about that, Andy.
Yeah, well, we should ask. Next time you're at a function, Jodie, why don't you?
I'll ask them, and if I get a lot of hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Right.
then I'll know, yeah.
Next up is Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard, followed by and including his motorcycle unit, the Marine unit, and the Dare truck.
That's Mike.
Sheriff Bouchard is the 41st sheriff of the county, one of the largest in the United States. Oakland County has 1.2 million residents and over 2,500 miles of road with 450 lakes within its 910 square miles.
Andy, you know everything.
Well, I get a little help here and there.
The motorcycle unit, Oakland County's motorcycle unit, is created entirely of Harley-Davidson Police Special Road King motorcycles. Now, this unit originally deployed a dozen deputies onto the streets of Oakland County and is now the largest motorcycle unit in the state, consisting of 30 Harleys.
Next up, the Royal Oak High School band, directed by Tim Foreman. Third-year band from 2 previous Royal Oak schools have joined together. Feel the drums, the primal drums.
I do. The Ravens in their black and purple. You know what? We could go out there and tell them to play. And
You think
come
we
on,
should?
they are on camera here. They need to perform. Oh, maybe it's coming now. The lull before the storm. Oh,
I hear them now.
I hear
Let's
them
give a
as well.
listen. They sound great.
They do. They sound fabulous. Give them a lot of credit. I spent 8 years in a marching band
Did you
with
really?
one of those funny hats and a trombone. It's much better up here.
I say. Well, next up we have the American Legion, Frank Wendland, post 253.
Post 253 has been active in the community since 1920. And they have the distinction of being the first American Legion post to charter a scouting unit in the world. Not just in the state, in the world.
Nice.
Frank Wendland Post is also a founding sponsor of Honor Flight Michigan, with 5 Legion members on its board. And it shows its dedication and service to all veterans. I believe we have some Honor Flight people coming up very, very soon here, too.
And there they are. I know there was a trip planned with some of the Honor Flight folks to Washington, D.C. not too long ago, and some of the World War II vets honored and so forth. There's actually a couple of World War I vets still floating around out there.
Incredible.
And there's a dog.
That's Toby, actually. That's my friend Toby.
How about that?
He's a therapy dog.
Is that right?
It is. He is. See, I know everybody.
You are.
I know everybody.
I don't know. I'd be lost without you up here. I can tell you
Oh,
that.
Andy, you're so sweet.
Well,
I actually was listening to a story on the way in this morning about veterans painting names or adding names, like maybe engraving, to one of the memorials in DC as we speak. Fitting tribute on Memorial Day, certainly.
World War II vets here. Now, escorting the veterans of American Legion Post 253 and World War II veterans of Honor Flight Michigan is a collection of vintage military vehicles led by John Lind, the curator of the Detroit Arsenal Museum and commander of the Able Company 704th Tank Destroyer Battalion Reenactment Group. 3 of the vehicles are owned by John, who leads the parade presentation.
Now, do you think they still have tanks out there they're destroying, or did they just reenact that they were destroyed?
I hope it's just a reenactment, because there's a few tanks parked around some of the Legions around Metro Detroit. I don't think they're in service, and they wouldn't have much trouble taking them down.
No, I don't think so. Looks like we have Cub Scout Pack 1607.
Right on. Cub Scout Pack 1607.
Oh, and 1720.
And the 1720ers. That's right.
Now, 1607, I know they trace their origins to the beginning of Northwood Elementary School in the 20s.
Now, these kids weren't there in the 20s, were they?
No, that one, he looks familiar. I think he might have been there in a little later.
Okay.
But most of them are from their newer vintage.
Subsequent graduating classes.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. They've supported the Salvation Army, Operation Can Do, Scouting for Food Project, and the Michigan Honor Flight in their community service activities. Members of Pack 1607 are walking the sidelines of the parade collecting for Michigan Honor Flight.
Ever vigilant, always working for that good cause.
These Vietnam veterans are the Kerr brothers. Kerr brothers' 8th year in the parade, Jodie. And of the 4 brothers, Tom, Harvey, and John served in different branches of the armed services, but at the same time from 1967. And Michael was 2 years later.
Do you think he was just a follower or way too young to start up in 67?
Yeah, not sure. We'll have to ask.
I'm sure I'll be the popular one to ask that question. And what parade is complete without the Celtic pipes and drums?
That's right, the Celtic Pipes and Drums unit of Birmingham, Michigan.
Featuring the drums.
Yes, the Birmingham Chrysler Jeep Pipes and Drums. Throw those sponsors in there. Royal Canadian Legion Post 84.
This unit's origin is the British Commonwealth Veterans Organization, and they date back to 1935 here in Royal Oak.
And behind them, we have the antique Ford Model A version, which George Jones has driven in this parade for many years.
So you almost have to wonder, has he been following the Cub Scouts since the 1920s?
Probably.
Excellent.
I would assume. It's a 1928 Model A Ford. James Dawson, also driven in the parade for many years. The Ezra Parker chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Wendy Hill is the chapter regent and leads the chapter in many projects such as historical preservation, scholarships, aiding veterans, ecological activities such as tree planting, and honoring outstanding teachers. Now, some of those ladies you can see were wearing historical dresses, colonial era dresses. Oh, there you go, the 1938 DAR car.
We also have the Three Flags chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Now, you may know, Andy, that the DAR is a service organization that was established in 1890 for historic, educational, and patriotic purposes. National headquarters is in Washington, D.C., just north of the World War II Memorial. The Three Flags chapter began in 1939 and has been an active member of the Royal Oak Memorial Society.
Senator Sander Levin. Sander Levin, I don't see his brother. There's Joe Nolan.
Look for the hat.
I don't
Look
see
for the hat.
I don't see Carl this year. Sanders out in force.
Well, serious business in D.C. He may actually be working today.
You think?
Yeah, I think.
Senator Joe Nolenberg. And Dennis Cowan following behind.
I believe Dennis is still the Republican chair
Chairman.
for Oakland County.
Yep, I believe you are right.
And he's hard to miss. Tall and in a red shirt.
That's right. I think he did that on purpose.
I'm sure he did, knowing former Mayor Cowan.
And Senator John Papageorge, as well as 26th District State Rep Marie Donegan. There's Marie, waving to the throngs. the assemblage.
The well-behaved assemblage.
Yes, right.
Followed by Oakland County Commissioner Dave Woodward, proudly serving the city of Royal Oak, and he is also the chair of the Democratic Party in Oakland County. So you see, we are well represented in Royal Oak.
That's right. There he is, Senator Dave Woodward. He's got a great wave.
Actually, he's only a commissioner, but I hope that was a nice slip of the lip.
Oakland County Commissioner Dave Woodward. He's a mover and shaker in the
He
Democratic
is a mover
Party
and a shaker
too,
and has been. I believe he first took office when he was about 21 or 22. And so he's been taking this seriously for a number of years.
He was a rep for Royal Oak from '99 to 2004, and as a commissioner helped expand the Oakland County Park System in southeast Oakland County with the creation of Catalpa Oaks.
We also have, let's see if this is who's up here right now, the Royal Oak Elks, number 1523 Lodge with the Wapiti, which is the ladies' organization.
And that's Elroy the elk.
Ooh, I love
He's
Elroy.
our drug awareness elk we use for children's activities. They do.
He's just so handsome,
Is he
isn't
knocked McGruff off his perch or what?
Well, I mean, come on. McGruff is old stuff.
That's old school.
This is Elroy.
That's Elroy's happening.
He is happening.
He's more of the anti-drug message guy. I think McGruff's more of a
crime
fighting dog. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, we hear McGruff is
so
in
we
the
be
Prince
quiet.
Company?
Just we'll just say, well, we won't tell McGruff that
Might
he
have
has a competition here. Knights of Columbus.
Knights of Columbus and the Lions Club of Royal Oak.
Now, the KFC was founded 125 years ago in New Haven, Connecticut to help widows and orphans. This chapter, who I believe is from the Shrine, continues to receive numerous awards annually for their charity work and ongoing service to the community.
Following them, we have the Dance 10 Dance Studio Dancers. They perform in local parades for seniors in nursing homes, charities, and fraternal organizations, and at Disney World, as well as various cruise lines.
Ooh.
Studio has done business in Royal Oak, where it opened for over 25 years.
Dance 10 and looks much higher than 3. That's
I
good.
would say. Next up, we have the Royal Oak Optimist Club, featuring Jack Salter. Jack's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I
Andy.
was going to mention about Jack Salter, great member of our community, the oldest member of the Optimist Club, in fact, and he's instrumental in forming the Boys and Girls Clubs of South Oakland County.
Absolutely. I find it interesting, too, that the minute the Optimists came by, the sun came out.
Isn't that
and the
amazing?
breeze settled.
I know. And you almost never see a negatives club or a pessimist
club.
Right.
Yeah. Well, good reasons for that.
Thank heavens.
Following the Optimists, we have the Kiwanis, the Kiwanis Club of Royal Oak. Chris Hartwig is the president. Terry. And would you look there, City Manager Tom Hoover, also a Kiwani, carrying the banner.
He got out of bed this morning. Good to see. Good to see him out here.
I tell you, that's dedication for you.
Seeing all of his fans. And is it the Fraternal Order of the Eagles? Looks as though.
We'll give a listen. I can't make an eagle sound without screeching over the mic.
Best that you don't try, I would assume.
No, that would hurt.
And the Special Olympics of Southeast Michigan. These are just a few of our many athletes from the Southeast chapter of the Special Olympics. Many great opportunities for the kids and adults with intellectual disabilities within the Special Olympics. They swim and golf and run track and play hockey and softball and basketball, even speed skating. You're looking at some of the best athletes in Michigan.
Fabulous, and showing off all of their medals. Oak Ridge Preschool.
That's right, the Oak Ridge PTA Co-op Preschool.
It began as the Longfellow School PTA Committee in the early 1970s. The preschool currently meets in the Church Community Education Center, which is a short drive from Oak Ridge Elementary School. Now, the founding parents, and this is important here, understood that a cooperative preschool is a unique and valuable way to introduce children
Easy for you to say.
To the school setting. When parents and teachers work together, they develop a relaxed, friendly atmosphere in which the child thrives. Let's hope that continues to interpret itself into the rest of our school experiences.
That's the goal.
Oh.
Speaking of McGruff, we have McGruff the crime dog.
Deputy Chief Yonke. Oh, he maybe disappeared out of view here.
And we've got the Royal Oak Citizens Crime Prevention Council with McGruff. There's McGruff. Don't let him get with Elroy the elk here, because
hey, Chris.
McGruff. He looks as young as he ever did.
Doesn't he, though?
All that policing and crime prevention.
Walking is good for you.
That's what it is.
McGruff?
McGruff on the Royal Oak Show coming up.
With Carlo Giannotti?
There's a scoop.
Excellent.
Direct from Greg Walter in the truck. A shout out to all of our great crew putting this telecast on for us this morning.
Hooray! WROK.
Richard Wilson, Greg Walter, and all of their able-bodied associates.
Who got up very early this morning to set up and make sure.
And the Royal Oak Middle School Band. Although these students are just completing their first full year in the newly remodeled middle school building, which is formerly known as Dondero High, it's their second year marching in the parade. Their former middle schools are now being used as new elementary buildings. The band is now bigger and better than ever. Royal Oak Band instructors are Keith Koring and Jan von Eberstein.
Look at those flags wave.
That's some good coordination.
Maybe they'd let us do that in an honorary capacity, and we wouldn't have to prove our ability to coordinate.
I think I'd be more of like a sign holder, really. It'd be about what they would entrust me with.
Excellent. That's a very important responsibility.
It is, and there's less coordination and required for that.
And you have to have good posture to be the sign holder.
That's
so
important
there you go.
It's the Royal Oak Memorial Society. Grand Marshal of the Aubrey. Do we have a
tell
name with
you.
that? The Memorial Society
Mm.
has been putting on Memorial Day and Veteran Day services since the 40s. And they persuaded the moving of the War Memorial in 2006. Each year they name a Grand Marshal for the parade. This year we have two, Ed Barton and Ray Weil. Both were in World War II. Presently they have 14 active members. Any Royal Oak resident may join.
And driving the car, Carol Hennessy, who is one of our Royal Oak Volunteers of the Year.
Carol Hennessy was a guest on the Royal Oak Show.
Fabulous. Oh my God, there's a theme here.
Can you
Royal
feel it?
Oak
Yes,
Show.
it's a Royal Oak kind of day.
It is. It is.
Next up, the 9th Kentucky Infantry.
This is Royal Oak's own premier Civil War reenacting club. Members portray Confederate soldiers from the state of Kentucky who formed into the famed Orphan Brigade. The uniform, equipment, and drill that you see reflects in detail the historic research done by its members. Now this year, the club will participate in the new preservation movement, picking up momentum at historic Fort Wayne in Detroit. They're working in conjunction with the National Park Service, doing a living history program at Chickamauga National Battlefield Park in Georgia. Say that 3 times fast.
I couldn't do that.
They will end their season with a full-scale battle reenactment at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. This unit is under the direct command of Captain Brooks, also known as Keith Rouse, and the club is actively seeking new members to help tell this story of America's history.
Well done, well done. Next up, the Royal Oak Seniors and their bus from the Mahaney-Meininger Senior Community Center.
All
We've got
generations of seniors.
Seniors and future seniors.
That's right.
Aren't we all?
I'm an impending senior.
Yes, we are. Everything's relative, of course, but I feel more on the doorstep some days than others. We'll put it that way.
Absolutely.
I know for a fact the Mahaney-Meininger Center is a place of great refuge for many seniors. Go over there and share time with one another, and here in Royal Oak.
Absolutely. One of 2 senior centers in town, one on the north end, one on the south end, so everybody's covered.
The First Baptist Church of Royal Oak.
The First Baptist Church of Royal Oak was founded in 1939 and erected their first church building in Royal Oak that same year. In the 169 years since then, 1839,
Thank
if
you.
I could read.
That's okay.
In the 169 years since then, they have met in 6 locations within 6 blocks of each other. Hence, their slogan is, "The Church on Main Street."
I like it. The Iwo Jima float featuring Dave Neary. And Dave's fellow armed service members, they rotate positions on this live reenactment of the flag raising at the Battle of Iwo Jima.
This is in honor of the 28,000 casualties killed at this battle. Oh, or is that 28,000 with 6,800 casualties?
Well, that's a good question. I'd
There
have
were
to check my history
casualties,
books, but
and,
it was
and a lot of people fought there.
yeah, it was a memorable battle indeed.
And I think it's just no one who ever sees the statue forgets it.
Right, right. Well, I hear a ruckus coming, and this looks like the Royal Oak youth football teams, the Chiefs and the Chargers.
Also known as the Roift.
The Roift. They've marched in the parade for many a year. These two teams get to know each other real well. They don't, let's just say they have no excuse for not knowing the other's plays.
I want to see the scrimmage they run on that field there.
That's right. You put 11 on 11 on that little float, and they got, they're bumping into each other.
That's right.
And we have Cub Scout Pack 1634 from Shrine High School. Steve Carpenter and Pat Maston handle the duties for the Cub Scouts over there.
And coming right behind, we have Cub Scout Pack 1627 with Ray Nightstep, who is their pack master.
Absolutely.
Cub Scouts everywhere.
Behind them, Cub Scouts Pack 1631 from Oak Ridge Elementary. I must compliment Pat Taylor and her daughter, Kathy, for having this thing right in order. The sheet they gave us today, frequently not the case. And they are right on.
It is point on, exactly.
Girl Scout Troop 5733, led by Kelly Harris, following the Cub Scouts.
And directly behind them, we have Girl Scout Troop number 131 with leader Holly Heron of Northwood School. It's good to see the young ladies well represented here this morning as well.
All right, followed by Brownie Troop 607, formerly Mark Twain Elementary School, which does not exist at this time.
But it lives on in spirit.
That's right, and all of its great alumni.
Faith Baptist Church. It's their first year. They'd like to be visible in the community. They're having a food drive for the Salvation Army this month and are planning a cleanup day for a park in June. So keep your eyes open for that. Nice green shirts. I love the green.
Love the green. Is Dayglow making a comeback?
Dayglow it never left.
It never left my closet. All right, do I hear now? Do I hear in the background the Borsati Family Calliope?
Oh, I love the calliope. It's right up there with the pipes and drums.
If you have a calliope,
yes,
you better enter it in a parade.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't really make a lot of sense to just have it sitting around your
That's
house
right.
collecting dust. Now, this is an authentic antique circus calliope built around 1900. It is a very rare 53 whistle national. It's the largest of their calliopes. At one time, it was in the fun house of the Eastwood Gardens Amusement Park in Detroit. For many years, it was owned by the Detroit Edison Company and used for parades and their special events. You know, the calliope is the only musical instrument invented entirely in the U.S. in 1855. I'm getting my
You're about
my
a century
centuries
apart.
off. In Massachusetts. Alrighty then.
Following the calliope, the Royal Oak Historical Society. This group researches and records the history of this great city. Dale Piak at the wheel. One of my former hockey night in Royal Oak compadres.
It's hockey night.
He's got his Red Wing. There's Dale. I also worked with his son, Dean. Dale was great people. And we had a lot of fun together for a few years at the old John Lindell Arena.
Excellent. Bringing up the rear, we have Royal Oak's own DPS and their dump truck. And this is always my cue.
Yeah, that's right. And there's
to
the mayor, by
wrap
the
up and
way.
leave.
We get the mayor and the dump truck. I'm
All
sorry.
in one.
Yes, that's. I mean,
It's
one
like
screen.
living at my house.
I think he liked it. Either that or he's coming to get me. I'm not sure
I
which.
think he's going to come get you.
Okay.
But I'm sure he liked it anyway.
No problem with the horns or the sirens on any of the public service vehicles here in Royal Oak.
At all. That's always good to know. Reassuring.
Well, Jody, what do you think?
Another successful parade in Royal Oak on Memorial Day, 2008.
2008. What do you think? Say we do it all over again next year?
I'm with you.
You good?
I'm
Rain
good.
held off. Beautiful day.
It's gorgeous.
It's actually
Gorgeous.
clearing up a little bit. And we had city commissioners, mayors, mayor's wives. We had everything. Really, all you
Lions,
can-
tigers, and bears.
Lions, tigers, animals, and police cars.
And the calliope.
And the
yeah,
calliope. So
absolutely.
we're very happy about that. We appreciate all of you for checking in, watching our annual event here in Royal Oak to honor the veterans, both active and former, and those who gave their lives for our freedom. We really appreciate their efforts. And Jodie, it's been a pleasure working with you again.
As always, Andy, it's a pleasure working with you.
Thank you, and we'll wrap it up for here. Thank you for tuning in to the annual Royal Oak Memorial Day Parade.
Happy Memorial Day.